Hello, Matthew Hawkins back again with another video, and it's time for another wrestling predictions video on this channel. And no, I'm not going to do Summerslam predictions this year. I just haven't been too excited for Summerslam. But I will do NXT Takeover, and it's NXT Takeover 30. So I've done about 6 of these prediction videos for Takeover now, haven't I? Well, it's going to be quite an interesting night on Saturday night. Obviously, we've got Takeover, but it was obviously announced that AEW, NXT's obviously Wednesday night rival, is going to be on some different nights for the next couple of weeks. Obviously, this week it's on Saturday nights. In fact, I think the last hour could clash with Takeover proper. Or the last hour and a half, if you count the pre-show. Before getting to my NXT Takeover 30 predictions, I do want to touch on the reason that, well, obviously, Dynamite is going to be on Saturday this week. I think Thursday next week, I believe. Obviously, this was due to basketball on TNT. People complain about basketball being on there. Okay, fair enough, but take this into account. The NBA programming on TNT is the highest rated programming on there by a country mile. Probably the second highest is AEW. Obviously, if TNT has to choose between the NBA or AEW, it's pretty obvious who they're going to pick. Given that he's following a playoff game, which it could be a blessing or a curse, because obviously it might just be the second hour that clashes with Takeover, or the last hour and a half of it, count the pre-show. Or maybe even late, because obviously the NBA game could go to OT. It could create a good tie-in, could create a great leading, because obviously, maybe if it's promoted well, coming up it's AEW Dynamite. But obviously, will it lead to many NBA fans watching AEW as well? Or are they just going to go flick to ESPN or wherever there is other games, or flick to something else? I mean, obviously, it's a case-by-case basis. You know, some might stay, some might go to another channel. I thought first, once obviously it was announced it was going to be on TNT, and obviously on a Wednesday, the only time there's going to be a bother is when it maybe it's the Eastern, is whatever conference finals TNT has. Turns out that's not the case, but obviously we are in extraordinary circumstances at the moment. Anyway, enough about AEW, even though it's a great show. We're here to talk about NXT, so let's go to that. Right, let's begin with a pre-show match that was announced on NXT this past week. It was a triple threat tag team match here. It's Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde representing Liga del Fantasma against Breezango, obviously Tyler Breeze and Fandango, as well as Oney Lorcan and Danny Bear. And it is a number one contenders match, I assume, for the NXT Tag Team Championship. This one I'm kind of hot-shotting here, but I'm going to go with Liga del Fantasma. I feel more confident going with them, so that's why I'm going with them. I'll just leave it at that. Right, moving on to the main card. Obviously, this was announced after NXT. It's Timothy Thatcher versus Finn Balor. Does Balor really need the win? I was going to go with Thatcher. I'm going to go with Finn Balor. Again, it's more safe. And I think it might be like why Charlotte Flair won the NXT Women's Championship in the first place. Did she really need to win it? I'm not sure. It's one of them. I do like Finn Balor, but I do hope I'm wrong though, because I just, you know, it's meant to be the future, and it's just like, well, Finn Balor's part of the past. Obviously, he was at the present, but obviously he helped build NXT to where it is. And if you just have him come back, obviously he wanted to be back apparently, just to bury the up and comers like that, like a Timothy Thatcher, then it kind of defeats the object. But I'm going to go with Finn Balor on this one. I just feel safe. Right, moving on to the ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. Obviously, after Keith Lee won the NXT Championship on NXT, obviously that was spoiled on Instagram. Obviously, he relinquished the North American Championship, which was good on him. You know, he didn't want to be the guy who owned all the singles gold. There was obviously the qualifying matches for this ladder match. We've got Bronson Reed, Damon Priest and Cameron Grimes, and as we found out this past week on NXT, it's Johnny Gargano and the Velveteen Dream. I'm going to go with Bronson Reed on this one. The way they built him up, I think it'd be a great way to elevate him. It obviously add to the momentum he's been gaining since debuting on NXT. And, would him losing kill that? I wonder. So that's why I'm going to go with Bronson Reed on this one. It's the pick I had the utmost confidence. I've never been more confident with a pick on this one. I'm probably going to be wrong. I have that feeling I'm going to be wrong, but it's Pat McAfee, former NFL punter, I believe, for the Indianapolis Colts, against Adam Cole, baby. I'm going to make this plain and simple here. I'm going to go with Pat McAfee. Why? I'm not Sam Miller, but here's why. Because he's a celebrity. And if there's one thing I know about WWE, when they have a celebrity in a wrestling match against a wrestler, the celebrity will always win. Case in point, Kevin Federline, who's a rapper, beat John Cena on the New Year's Day edition of Raw in 2007. How do I remember that? I do not know. Also, Floyd Mayweather beating the Big Show, which don't get me started on that. And obviously there was the team involving Snooki, obviously with John Morrison and Trish Stratus, beating Dolph Ziggler, Michelle McCool and Layla at WrestleMania 27. I rest my case though, it's just insanely confident here. I do feel going with Pat McAfee in this match. Right, moving on to the NXT Women's Championship match. It is Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. They've been building up Dakota Kai as a huge heel. This one I was really back and forth on. I'm going to go with Io Shirai, but after watching NXT this week, I reckon maybe that Raquel Gonzalez may get involved in the match, but would Dakota Kai, who's obviously a heel, get her comeuppance since it's meant to be the conclusion? That's what Takeover is meant to be. It's like a pay-per-view, the big blow-off. So that's why I'm going to go with Io Shirai on this one. And moving on to your main event, bask in his glory if you will. It is Limitless Keith Lee against Karrion Kross. I would go with Keith Lee normally, but I'm going to go with Karrion Kross because you've seen the momentum. If anyone's been watching NXT, you've seen the momentum. And I just feel again, if he loses at Takeover, it would this even more so than if Bronson Reed lost in the ladder match. I think it would seriously hurt the momentum he's been building up again since he debuted on NXT. Right, that is my predictions for NXT Takeover 30. What do you think of my predictions? Let me know your predictions for the event down in the comments section below. Will I be watching Takeover on Saturday night? Yes, I will, but I will also be watching AEW. Yes, I'm wearing merch repping both NXT and AEW. There is nothing wrong with that. If you like both sides, it's absolutely fine. Anyway, that is going to be it for the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like on the video. If you are brand new here, you like what you see, you want some more, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you know whenever the hell I post next. Be sure to tell your friends how much of a great YouTuber I am, and to follow me on Twitter at Hawkins_MattUS and on Instagram at BigMattHawk18. But as always, remember, if you need some cheer, have no fear, Big Matt Hawk is here!